Peace, Asad. How you doing?
Good. We're live. I see.
We are live.
The first real live stream
Yeah,
with video.
yeah,
I
and
like it.
and we'd like to remind people that we're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Trovo. All
Cool.
five platforms.
Whoever wants to come, yeah. I'm sure there are hordes lining up. Yeah.
I mean, anyone is welcome to join us and ask Asad any question pertaining to the Book of God, the Quran, and we also. I mean, I have a bunch of things that I want to talk to you about, and I'd like to bring it up on the
Good.
screen. Some
That's why we're
scriptures.
doing it. That is why we're
Yeah.
doing it. So if you can lead in and tell me what you want to, or tell everyone what we want to talk about today, and then we can go through like a few of those points or all of them. Let's see how far it goes with the stream before we get tired. Yeah.
Yeah, and just a reminder that you can also go to the majesticreading.com and check out what Asad has done with the Will of God, which is translation of the Quran from Arabic to English, and also recording the audio of the Quran, reading in Arabic and also reading in English, and you can check that all out on the majesticreading.com. So right now, we would like to bring in what I wanted to ask you about, and let me just align these screens and make it clearer. Yeah.
Yeah. So the hour, the earth, abortion in life, usury, interest in what is money. Interesting. Interesting topics.
Hmm.
So if you want to lead in with the hour, what would you like to
Yeah.
discuss?
So my thing was that uh, we knew a little bit about the hour before the day of standing, but uh, what you showed us through the reading of the book is that every generation that has been coming and going has an hour of its own. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So the hour is mentioned, I don't know how many times in the Quran. The word is sa'a in Arabic. And the most obvious hour we are all waiting for is the hour of the end of this creation that we are in, the life that we are living in this creation on the earth today. And that will be before, as you said, day of the standing, which most people do not understand the term day of the standing in the so called Islamic faith, or lack thereof, if I might add. Their faith, they say it's the uh, like Yawm al Qiyamah in Arabic, yeah? Everything will stand. No, all of us will stand to God. That is the day of the standing. They say, oh, the moon and everything is going to stand, the sun is going to stand, and the moon and the earth and everything's going to stand, yeah? No, no, they'll be destroyed before we stand. So we will all stand in front of God after this whole creation is destroyed, after all generations from the beginning, from Adam to the last man who will be given death or destroyed on this earth. After that, we will all bring all of these guys will come out of the earth after it's destroyed, after it's flattened, completely flattened. I mean, not just level, it will be leveled and flattened that day. And we will all rise out of this earth after its destruction. And when God sends down fluid from the heaven, that is the hour that we're waiting for, after which all that I've explained, or some of what I've explained, will happen. There's a lot of other things, but that is fundamentally what's going to happen at that time. The hour of the end, when the sun and the moon will be destroyed, the heaven will um, cleave will fall, the stars will be lost, they will fall to the earth will spew out all her innards, the seas will burst forth. Yeah, everything will be destroyed. And that will be the final hour. Now, also the hour that the Quran mentions, and you have to understand in each place which hour is being referred to. So each generation has its own hour. Now, everybody will say, what is a generation? I don't know. Whatever God wants it to be. I mean, the generation of Noah was 800 to 1,000 years, yeah? The generation before us could have been 300 years or 500 years or 200 years or I mean, I don't know. It's not the 25 years that they tell you a generation is 25 years, because you go from 0 to 25, that's one generation, and then the next one. Yeah, these are all are nonsensical ideas of what generations are. That is not the reality. So every people or generation has its hour. When the hour comes, that generation is finished off, destroyed, punished, uh, wiped out, most of it. Of course, because if everybody's wiped out, then you won't be able to exist, right? That will be the last hour, which I explained. Most are wiped out. Only those that God chooses will continue on. And uh, almost always, actually, always, it is the believers who are left over after the end or the destruction of every generation. So that is the hour for every people. How many of those have happened? I don't know. Many, many. I mean, there are more than seven examples in the Quran, and seven clear examples in the Quran of generations that have been, or cities that have been ended. So, people as well. It doesn't have to be the whole earth, it can be a people, a nation, a city, like in the case of Lot, it was Sodom and Gomorrah. In the case of Abraham, he was taken away from his people when they tried to kill him, and they were the losers. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be that everybody's wiped out. They are punished, and then the believers get on top. Yeah. In the case of Noah, the whole earth was vanquished by flood, and only Noah and his family, his progeny, survived, not all of them. Same with the Ad, the people who were the Greeks, and the messenger who's called Hud in the Quran. They were all destroyed. Now, was it the whole of the generation on the earth? Possibly. It seems likely that they were all massacred, yeah? And the remnants of those are the Romans today, yeah? The Greeks. Then came the Thamud in the Quran, which the remnants of those are the Hindus, Sikhs, and Buddhists today on the earth. And they were wiped out as well. The whole generation was wiped out, but doesn't mean that there was nobody left over. Because if there was no one left over, then we didn't just sprout out of the ground. Yeah, it's not evolution. Yeah, somebody has to be there to start the creation, like Adam and his spouse were created at the beginning. So that is that hour. So all of like that Moses' hour was when Pharaoh was drowned and his forces in the sea. Yeah. And Lot when the city was turned upside down. So same thing with every other generation. When especially a messenger comes, the end of them is their destruction. So that's what's coming to this generation now, the hour of this generation or this people. How will that unfold? I don't know. What kind of punishment will come to destroy them? I don't know. How God will massacre them? I don't know. But the certainty is that He will. There is no doubt that God will massacre all these people, because it's obvious they have turned against the words of the book, the truth that is in the book. So there's no two things about it. It will occur. When it does, they will know. Till it does, they will doubt, as every generation before them has done. And they will doubt what I say till the punishment comes to them. This is nothing new, and it's nothing to be worried about by me specifically. I mean, they will call me all sorts of names, and I've gone crazy, mad. Am I the only one guided? Does he think he knows and we don't? Things like that have been said to all sorts of people before me, like me. Yeah, all sorts of characters. We don't come with one character. The messenger doesn't come with the same character every time God brings a messenger. He doesn't come with the same color. He doesn't come with the same eyes or ears or anything else. Or whether he's tall or short or anything else. It doesn't matter. God doesn't define what race a messenger or prophet has to come from. So he comes from whatever God chooses, whoever God chooses. He chooses who he wishes and he guides him to himself. And then he uses him to bring his message to the people on the earth. And when they destroy the messenger or kill him or overturn the message, destroy the reality that's in front of them by their words, they can't really destroy it. Yeah, although they do actually destroy by burning down the land and fighting and making wars, but they mutilate the truth to their own desires, and God brings the hour upon them and destroys. Now there is another hour, the hour of the day. We have hours during the day. It's not like you created this hour, yeah, that you 24 hours. It's an hour as well. So there's an hour during the day as well, which is also mentioned in the book. So this is why you have to be specifically careful as to what you read out of that word when you read the Quran. And then finally, one more hour for you is the hour of death of every soul. When the hour of death comes to every soul, that is the soul's hour, because every soul doesn't die at the end of the generation. There's a whole generation that passes, everybody dies all along the way. So that is the hour for the death of the soul. So this is how the hour is explained in the Quran. And you have to understand when you read it which hour it is referring to. And it's sometimes a little convoluted or a little difficult to understand. But if you keep reading the Quran and you step back and look at the big picture, you will know more or less which hour is being referred to at this particular spot which you're reading in the Quran. So, you have any follow up on that?
Yeah. Do you think it would be? Do you think I I wanted to ask you about what happened to the people of Jonah, but would that be this place, or should we move?
I mean, we can also look at so there is an exception to the end of every generation being destroyed. The exception is Jonah. Yeah, every people that a messenger came to, yeah, they were destroyed and their faith did not benefit them, except the people of Jonah. And that is because Jonah screwed up and ran from the command of God. And the story is clear in the Torah, in the Injil, in the Quran, that he ended up in the stomach of the fish. And then he cried out to his Lord to forgive him, and eventually God forgave his messenger, and he brought him out, and he sent him, and 100,000 more, 100,000 or more people believed, but they were not destroyed. So they were the only people throughout the history so far as the Quran has come, till the time the Quran has come, that were not punished in this life. They all died. I mean, they were quote unquote destroyed because it's not like you're going to survive, but the punishment was cleansed from them. So God did not punish them. And fundamentally, obviously, the reason is because his own messenger screwed up. So, because his messenger screwed up, God cleansed that punishment from those people and they enjoyed in the earth to the time they were let to enjoy until they died. And then, if they rejected, it's not like they're going to be escaping from the punishment after they die. The punishment of this world is one punishment, the punishment of the hereafter is totally another thing. Here you get punished, you're sick, you are hungry, you're thirsty, you're disabled, paralyzed, whatever the punishment is the Lord brings upon you. And then in the end, he kills you or destroys you or makes his messenger destroy you or whichever way he chooses. But the punishment of the hereafter is where we actually will see what terror means, because that will be forever compared to what you're living in this world. Nothing here, the time that you can calculate here, can measure to what you're going to spend after this life.
Okay. So the next we wanted to talk about the Earths, because uh, I I'm not exactly sure, but as far as I remember, I have not seen in any other book Earths being mentioned except in your translation. So Tell us about that. What does the Quran say about this earth and the other earths, and if there are, how many are there?
I mean, look at NASA. They found so many more Earths already. Yeah. I mean, there's how many? There's billions and billions of Earths they found apparently. Yeah?
The,
Hundreds
the
of
only
billions. I don't
the
know.
only problem was that when I put it on Photoshop, I could see it that Earth was placed in a Photoshop graphic.
Yeah. Yeah. If Earth was a ball. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
What a joke.
So
So,
another, yeah, this
yeah.
this also included the concept that the level Earth versus what they're saying the Earth, the ball. So
Yeah,
if
I
you could,
mean, as far as what the Quran talks about, the earth word is al ard, the earth. Yeah, quite close, huh? Al ard
Earth,
and the
yeah,
earth in English, very close. Yeah, and the heaven is called as sama, the heaven, or sama, the heaven, heaven or the heaven. So in the Quran, I mean, it's repeated. God only knows how many times. I haven't counted. Many, many, many times. It says as-sama wal ard or as-samawati wal ard. And if you look at the way it refers to it, it's in them both. Fihima in Arabic. In them both. So when it refers to heaven and earth, it will say in them both. And when it refers to the heavens and the earth or earths, and it says in them both. So both of them are in them both. How can it be in them both when it says the heavens and the earths and in them both? That can mean only two things, right? Normally speaking. But you have to see its sets, the sets of the heavens and the sets of the earths. So there are seven sets of heavens, and under them are seven sets of earths. Under this heaven is this earth, which I can guarantee you we do not understand all of. We are not being told the extent of it. We are not being shown all the land on it clearly. We just don't know. Yeah. I don't know how much is being hidden, but there is hidden land which is not being told to us, but it's available if you go and do your own research to get there, but they won't let you because there's going to be impediments. And now they're shutting down all sorts of travel because of their so-called climate change and all this other nonsense that they're spreading on the earth. So it'll be even harder to find what actually the earth is. Yeah. But this is the earth under this heaven that is above us. And beyond that are six other heavens, and under them are six sets of other earths. It doesn't have to be one under there. It could be 1,000 earths or 1,000,000 earths. Depends how big the heaven is around this. Yeah. Even if you take one diameter more as the added extent of the next heaven around us, that will exponentially increase the number of earths as we go out towards the seventh heaven, and under that all the earth. So here we certainly have only one earth, and we have one sun and one moon that we know of. Yeah, out there we don't know. So he also refers to suns and moons. Yeah, he created the suns and the moons, and he created the sun and the moon. So both of that you have to understand in context where it could mean both in the Quran. So in that sense, there are, God only knows how many earths. There are only seven heavens. That is absolute. There is absolutely no doubt that there are only seven heavens. But how many earths there are, I don't know. And even on this earth, God refers to the earth inside the earth, because the land you live on is your earth. Yeah. It is still earth, part of the earth. So it's like it's metaphorical as well, in the sense that sometimes the earth is the land that you own, is your earth. Yeah. And the others, what they own is their earth, but the whole thing is the earth as well. So this is kind of, you have to understand how it's referred to in the Quran. But yeah, it refers to heavens and earths. The word al ard means earth or earths, whereas sama only means heaven singular, and the plural of that is samawat, which is heavens. So that's how you can corroborate that this earth means one and the other earth means earth in Arabic, ard. Here the ard word means earth, and other places the ard word means earths. You have to figure it out. But all the um, crumbs, all the clues are in the Quran to explain how there are many earths. And all of this was created before before we came down here, yeah? Because before we came down here, we were up there, yeah? It was not that we were in the heaven. Oh, we will go to heaven. No, we can go up into this heaven, but when we go out of this heaven, which we can't right now, we will go to other earths, which are higher level than this earth. The word level, yeah? We're on a level of this earth. The other earths are on a higher level, i.e., the gardens that we speak about in the Quran, the garden and the rivers flowing from beneath them are at a higher level than this earth. That's why they're called the gardens the high, yeah? Because they're actually physically higher than this earth. So you have to understand how this thing is working. Now, how it's all set up, I don't know. I've been out there, yeah. I was there, but I forgot, yeah. God hasn't made me remember that. He's only made me remember that I was alive there, yeah. And then I was given death, and now made alive here to salvage my soul, which we all lost back there. So God seeing which ones of us will salvage our soul here. So that is fundamentally what the earth issue is, yeah.
So what about the Earth being leveled?
So the earth is a level. Yeah, people have been talking about this for centuries, yeah. Oh, we figured it out 500 years ago that it wasn't level, yeah. All the people behind us, yeah, all those people, they were just cuckoo, cuckoo. They were like cuckoo, cuckoo. Then came Galileo and I don't know Ptolemy. I don't know all these people. Yeah, the church came and almost killed the guy who said the Earth is actually running around the moon, and then the moon is and the sun is, I don't know, whatever bullshit. Yeah, they said the Earth is around going around the sun. The sun is not going around the Earth. All this nonsense started like supposedly 500 years. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of it. Yeah, they have just put up the idea that the earth is a ball, and they've given us evidence which points to that fact through their mathematical equations and the observations of what the sun and the moon do, and then translating that into the fact that we are actually a ball, and we are spinning around, and then we are spinning around the sun, and the moon is spinning around us, yeah, and also spinning at a rate where we only see one side of the moon. When I came to this understanding in 2009 and 2010, when I'd finished the fifth translation of the Quran back in 2010, I spoke to God. I said, God, I don't know how this works, but I can't understand it. These people have to be super geniuses. I just don't have the intellect, and I don't have the energy anymore to figure out how this stuff is actually. It's just unbelievable. How is it possible that this is going on and we don't see any kind of shift in the moon's face ever from any? I mean, I can't figure it out. But then apparently, this flat Earth movement started in 2012, and in 2016, it was brought to my attention that the Earth is supposed to be actually flat, and I laughed at it for a month before I started looking into it. And a week later, because I had seen the Earth, I've traveled a lot on the Earth in planes and ships and helicopters and all sorts of stuff. And everything, the guys who were actually sounding quite sincere about what they're showing of the Earth, I thought they were jokers, but their presentations were actually very serious and sincere. I thought they were going to joke about it. And then when I compared it to my own experience during my life, I'm like, wow, what a joke. The earth is actually level. They say flat, and you can say flat earth from a big perspective, it is flat, but it's not really flat. Yeah, I mean, you got valleys and hills and mountains and all sorts of stuff. It's level. The sea is level. That's why they call it sea level. Yeah. I mean, it's intrinsic to the word level. I mean, it's not a C curve. Yeah, I mean, it's not doesn't curve around. A level is a level. A
Mm.
level doesn't curve. Yeah, yeah. Well, no, no, no. It's just the actual distance from the center of the Earth to the. And actually, it's not really. It's bulging on the side, so it's not really that. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Just accept what we're saying. We're showing you pictures. We're showing you pictures. We've shown you pictures and videos. We went to the moon. Can't you see those? Yeah, I mean, those grainy pictures which you can't barely tell what's going on, those ones which have been proven to and debunked to be absolute falsification of what actually happened. No, that's nonsense. They've
Absolutely.
gone anywhere. Nobody's gone anywhere outside this earth heaven system. You cannot leave it. So if you go into the Quran, you can bring up some of the places in the Quran where it says about the earth. It calls it floor, it calls it a cradle, it calls it standing, it calls it entrenched, and it calls it level, the earth. Yeah. So if you can bring up
Mm.
some of those signs, we can go through them. Yeah. So this is the first one where it says, but this we need to go to the first one, like chapter 2, the first one we had.
Yeah. Um, which was
No,
this
not
one.
here. You it's
Yeah.
in another window, yeah. It's in
Yeah.
chapter 2. Leave this here. Leave this where it is. Go
The
to the
earth
one
made to
in
you, earth the floor. Exactly. So
yeah.
let
So
me
it's
just,
going to be in that in where is chapter 2, yeah.
yeah. Bear with me. I
Yeah.
am learning this
Relax.
software. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's our first stream. We still have to figure out how this works. Okay, so this is the first place where uh, it's told to us, the one who made to you the earth a floor. The word is floor, there's no doubt about this. And the heaven constructed, yeah. If the heaven is supposed to be blank and vacuum, why would you need to construct anything that has nothing in it, yeah?
Hmm.
And sends down from the heaven fluid, but takes out with it from the fruits sustenance to you. So the fluid comes down from the heaven above us, yeah, not the clouds, the heaven. The heaven is above the clouds, and the fluid comes down from the heaven because there is fluid above the barrier of heaven from where God sends down this fluid to
Hmm.
create fruits on the earth as they sustain us.
So
So
there's no
no,
space up there. It's all fluid.
I mean, above the heaven there is fluid, there is space. Under the heaven above the earth is space, right? I mean, what is it? It's
Yeah.
air. Space is, what does space actually mean in
Hmm.
your or our understanding that we've been taught all our lives? So that space is this vacuum outside the earth, yeah, and it starts at some arbitrarily position point that they decide, after which it's a vacuum, right? Right. There's a vacuum which is right next to a pressure vessel, which is the earth, and it does nothing. It does nothing to this pressure which is on the earth, which is nothing compared to the vacuum. It doesn't suck it away because of gravity, right? Gravity, which can't keep a butterfly from flying away. Yeah. It can't keep the clouds from floating up and down. Yeah. It can't keep the birds from falling to the earth. They just fly, flap their wings, and they keep flying. Oh, that's buoyancy. But this, keeping all this atmosphere, which actually not connected to anything on the earth, is gravity. So yeah, there is no vacuum out there. The only vacuum that there is between their ears. Yeah, that's the only vacuum that exists. The between the ears of the what is it?
Astronauts.
The astronauts? No, the
Astronaut.
astronaut.
Not
The people who are
astron.
astrophysicists and
Astrophysics.
the what is the other word for it now? I'm forgetting. Astronomy, the astronomers, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Astronomers are wasting their time, are being taught lies. They're being shown formulas and pictures, and based on nothing of real experience, they waste all their lives. Yeah, there's nobody who's going anywhere outside the earth till they die. Yeah, outside the earth, I mean, is leaving the heaven above us, which has a barrier. Nobody is leaving that. It's not happening. You can say what you want. I've said the truth. In the end, we'll see who is right. They have not left the earth. They cannot leave the earth. The vacuum, now you can say that there is a vacuum at the highest level of the space above us, the air,
Hmm.
before it touches the heaven. Because
Hmm.
as high as you go, the air gets thinner.
Mm.
That's where there is a force that's keeping us down here, obviously. Right? Otherwise, we'll be floating away. There's a force that keeps us down. Whatever you call it, gravity, there's a force, yeah, that keeps us down. And some people explain it as buoyancy and density. That does explain most of it, but not all of it. But there is a force that keeps us down here. So that's why it's dense at the bottom, the air, and it gets thinner as you go up, and you can't breathe when you're on top of Everest and high mountains. And if
Mm.
you go too high in the air, you can't breathe because it becomes more of a vacuum, so to say.
Mm.
And right up next to the heaven, there might be almost a vacuum, yeah, but not really. It has to be some pressure. They were very little. And that's where they've got their satellites above, high, high above the earth. They've got their so called satellites, and how they're kept there, in what form, and how they're maintaining them, and all that. I don't know. I don't know. But it's up there. I'm pretty sure they have these uh, balloons carrying satellites and other drones, and they've got more technology coming now. Yeah, they send up like 18 satellites at a time, and they're like the size of your and fit in your the palm of
Mm.
your hand. So it doesn't matter. I mean, they're watching us from above there, and then we are monitored, and we are like the most what do you call it, surveilled people in history. That's nonsense. Yeah, I mean, God's surveilling all of us above them, so it doesn't matter. You are surveilled all the time. There's no escape from surveillance of God. You cannot be escaping from the surveillance of God. Yeah, the angels that are standing right next to you, documenting everything that you do, and I do, and everyone else.
All right. So, shall I move to the next
Yeah,
sign?
let's go to the next one. Here it says floor, so a floor. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. So here
You have
also
to
it.
switch. Yeah, and this
Yeah.
is, and the earth we made her floor, but blessed the cradlers. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
floor. A floor is usually flat. Yeah, you don't
Mm.
make a curved floor or a concave or a convex. A floor is generally flat. Yeah, I mean that's
Mm.
acceptable. So
Mm.
how's it if it's a floor? How is it going to be a ball or any other shape except a level flat plane? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go to the next place. Yeah,
All right. So that would be cradle.
let's go to yeah.
Yeah. Let me just bring that up. That would be earth a cradle.
Yeah, the one who made to you the earth a cradle and made to you in her paths. Maybe you be guided. So we have so many paths in the earth. And then the next one is the question: did not we make the earth a cradle? It's a cradle. If you look at a cradle has a flat part
Big.
in the center
Mm.
and upturned on the sides. That is a
Mm.
definition, fundamental definition of a cradle. Yeah. If you look at the baby's cradle, it's flat fundamentally, soft, not really flat. It's level, and it has those barriers around so the guy cannot fall out.
Yeah.
That's what the earth is. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
That's fundamentally what the earth is.
Okay. And there's another tab I had open,
Okay.
level. You want me to bring that up?
Yeah. Let's bring that.
Okay. So level, here it comes.
Okay, so here it says, and the earth, how she level. Yeah, the word sutehat is level,
Hmm.
comes from the word sat. Sat is
Hmm.
level. Yeah, so there you go. The earth is level. It's saying it specifically. How can you now say, no, 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 the earth is now curved and a ball? It's level. It's saying, I mean, there's no metaphor here. If you can bring me a metaphorical place where you think the Quran is saying it's somehow a ball, show me that sign and then we'll argue. If that's a metaphor, metaphorically telling you it's a ball, this is literally telling you it's level and flat. So which one's going to be right? The one that's literally telling, it's not, God's not going to literally tell you something to be a metaphor
Hmm.
here. Yeah, I mean, obviously there are many places where you can see the literal sense of the sign, and then later on you see the metaphorical sense of the sign. Here there's no metaphor here intended whatsoever. The earth, she is level, And another place in chapter 91, you can scroll down a little.
Yeah.
It says, and the earth and what levels her. Tahaha. Yeah, her levels her. Who God levels her, obviously. How does he level her? However he wants. Yeah. You can imagine many ways. Angels is one of them. Yeah. He uses angels to construct whatever he wants. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's where I come from. And it's clear, there's no doubt. And also there are places in the Quran where it says the earth is standing. Qararan, the word is qarar in Arabic. It means to stand or be fixed. So when it's saying it's standing or it's fixed, how in your insane mind can
Hmm.
then you invent that it's actually moving? When
Hmm.
it's if you're following this book, obviously I follow this book, and the so-called Muslims who are not Muslims, who do not follow or open this book or do any kind of basic research on what this book is about, how can then you come and tell me that the earth is spinning around and around and then running around the earth and then shooting with the earth into infinite space? A nonsense, total nonsense. I mean, it is such a egregious lie and such a big lie that they can't see past it because they've been made to buy into it from their youngest days. They've been fed a ball in everything they see. Yeah. And they
Hmm.
cannot get out of that ball.
Yeah. And here, in this sign on the earth and what levels are, the what is capital W, so it's
I mean, I'm just pointing to what as a
what.
question, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can think of it as God is the one who levels. Yeah, what levels her? God's the one who does everything. So I'm just pointing to what levels her. Is God who levels her? Obviously,
Hmm.
you and
Hmm.
I didn't level the earth.
No.
100%. Neither are these people capable of leveling the earth. The earth will level them, though. Yeah, soon. Yeah, they think they control the earth. They don't even control 1% of what is on the earth. All of us all together today, not 1%. And they pretend like they're controlling everything. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a joke beyond understanding. Yeah? These people are so lost, so beyond help that anything that is told to them today will fall on deaf ears, which is righteousness and truth. Yeah. Oh, we have somebody saying, who is that? Somebody came in.
Somebody did.
Shalom. Yeah, there's a
Oh.
comment.
Oh, that's beautiful. We can actually show them.
Yeah.
Alistair
Alternate kids.
Arente, Shalom. We,
Alternate kids.
we can.
Uh-huh. Anyway, so let's move along to our next thing.
Yeah. So it's saying try StreamYard, I think. StreamYard.
Now let's go.
No? Yeah. Okay. So one thing I'd like to tell our viewers or listeners that if you guys you can do the same thing that we're doing here. You can just go to the majesticreading.com and click on the read section on the site and open up the reading, and you can type anything that you want and search, and you'll be surprised the kind of stuff that you will come up with uh, if you do something like that.
Anyway, I
So
think we
moving.
should move along. So are we done with the earth part or is there
Yep.
something
Yep.
else
Yep. Well,
you want to
uh,
talk about?
we we were talking. There was one more about canopy. If you want to touch on the raised
Yeah,
her
the
canopy, but
the earth is it yeah, you can bring that one up as well.
yeah, okay,
That's part of the heaven thing. The heaven is constructed, and it's in chapter 79. Yeah.
yeah,
So here in chapter 79, it asks her, us, all of us. Uh, so they're asking, we're talking about the Quran and what it says about what's happening in reality for this guy, whoever's asking here. Yeah. Anyway, so the Quran in chapter 79 says, are you stronger creation or the heaven constructed her? So they constructed the heaven and they're asking us, are we stronger or the heaven? The heaven is stronger. The heaven is stronger than earth. The heaven and the earth and the heavens and the earths are stronger creation than all of mankind. So understand that we're not the most graced of all creation. We're not the highest of all creation in any way, shape, or form. Man is not. Yeah, this is a misconception that has been brought into the psyche of people to make them think that they're gods. Yeah, none of us are gods. There is no god from man. Man is not going to become god. Yeah. So here, raised her canopy, but shaped her. So he's telling you that this canopy was raised and then it was shaped. So if it's a vacuum up there, why would God write this? So this is where you know they're lying to you. Absolute lie. And covered her night and brought out her morning. That's when the sun goes away and then comes back. And the earth after that entrenched her. So the earth is entrenched into the soil of the earth. Yeah. That soil of the earth below, which is the hell. Below is the hell, yeah, of the earth. And it is entrenched in there, all the way down to where the lava is burning and all the hell fire is actually burning. And there are many, many generations before us burning there. Most of mankind will go to hell and has gone to hell already and is burning there. And when we think our ancestors are all in heaven, no, most of them are in hell, burning there, yeah, from the demons and the men. So this is all, I mean, this fundamentally shows fundamental signs, basic understanding. These are basic signs which are clear, crystal clear to what the earth and heaven is. Now you can go into a huge amount of depth and come up with the same answer after you look through all the signs about the heavens and the earth in the Quran. And I did a podcast a few years ago where I went through all of them, and at the end of it, it's obvious that it ain't no ball. It ain't spinning. Yeah, it ain't moving. Yeah, it's stationary. The earth is standing, is stationary. It ain't moving anywhere. So anyway, I think that should be enough for the earth, yeah. I mean, I think it's quite clear that
Mm,
the earth is level and stationary. I mean, there's
mm,
no doubt in that. Absolutely no doubt, except the doubt created by Satan. And the problem is that the satanic people and what they show mankind is what most of mankind falls for. Their desires, yeah. And that's how it is today. It's their desire that they want to go to space. They've been promising space trips for normal citizens, yeah, the normal people, the plebs, yeah. So the slaves will go to space and you will see the earth in a magnanimous glory from out. Yeah, no, it's not happening. Yeah, this has never happened. It's not going to happen. You're not leaving the earth. The only thing you will see is earth from high up, as high as you can get, and then you will warp it into making it look like a ball. Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, they've changed the lenses of cameras to make them look convex, the convexity. And actually, when you look at their fisheye lens, when it goes above a certain level, the earth becomes concave, and then because it becomes convex, so what is it? Is it a ball, or is it like a tub? What is it? These people are deluding us beyond belief, yeah, and they're going to take us, not me, they're going to take themselves to hell. And those that follow the Satan on the earth, which is the most of mankind, they're following Satan. They have always followed Satan. It's written in the book that most of mankind will follow Satan. Some of the believers will end up following Satan because they will doubt the truth. Some of the believers, not all. Yeah. Some of those who believe. Yeah. The believers, it's hard. Some of those who believe will fall for Satan's deception. And they have before, and they will now, and they will later. There's no doubt in that. I mean, that's how it's been happening for all of this creation that we've been on, all of eternity here. Yeah. So that's all I got to say about Batman.
all right. So just for once, I'd like to bring back the questions that we were talking about. So we did the hour, we did the Earths, abortion and life. There's a lot of talk about abortion and rights and all that kind of stuff. So what does the Quran say about that?
I mean, the fundamental edict, directive, command of God is do not kill a soul except with the truth. This is in the Quran. There are ways that you can justify killing, but they are very specific and they have to be proven that somebody killed you, then your brother can take revenge by killing that someone or your kin. That's how a killing of a soul can be done, yeah. But as far as abortion, the Quran says nothing about abortion. There is no sign in the Quran that talks about aborting children. But you are told not to kill your children, yeah, for fear of shortage. Don't kill them because the angels sustain them and us. God sustains them and us via his angels. Yeah. And so we are told do not kill your children fearing shortage. So why do they abort? Because one, they don't want to be burdened by having to take care of a child. Yeah. They don't want to be burdened by not being able to enjoy their lives. Yeah. The nonsense that they do in this life. These are the reasons they want to abort. So if you abort a child after the third month of pregnancy, you are killing a soul. Why do I say that? Because the Quran says that a child needs to be carried by his mother for 24 months, which is two full circles of the heaven, yeah? The 2 years. So 24 months, the mother carries the child when he's two and she suckles him. That is what God has said. And also that a total time that the child is carried is 30 months. So the only way to add that up is that the child is alive for 6 months in the womb of the mother. Thus, the soul, which is the life that we are, is blown into the creation of God, the creature that is in the body of the mother, after the third month. So, before the third month, I can't tell you anything. It's not alive, it's a living thing, yeah, it's a creature. It's a living creature growing from a sperm and an egg into body parts and head and limbs, and all that stuff is going on, the heart, yeah. And then after 3 months, the soul or life is blown in to the body, which is you, the soul. Yeah. Now it is a man. That thing is a human or a man. Yeah. Man, woman, same thing. Man is the creation we are, and from man there is male and female. Yeah. So then after that, if you abort a child, you're killing a soul. So you will be held accountable for that. So what does the Quran say? You cannot kill your children. You cannot kill any soul without the truth. Period. That's it. So the only way to kill a soul is if you kill someone else, then you will be killed. Or if you war God and his messengers, you might be killed as well for that. Or crucified, or your hands and feet will be cut, or you'll be exiled from the earth. So those are the things that are written. There are very few places where the Quran allows killing of a soul, yeah. And it has to be justified and clarified. You can't just go kill people just because you feel like it. Oh, I think he did this and that's why I'm gonna go kill him, yeah. This is how they do it, yeah. The suspicion. On suspicion of this, we're gonna kill you. Right. Yeah, that doesn't work this way. Yeah. So as far as that, abortion and life together, I've just explained what it is. Life
Mm.
starts after 3 months of gestation. These people argue about life is at the inception of the sperm and the nonsense. These people have no clue how life exists. you know Life is all living things are not living beings, yeah, or conscientious or conscious living beings. There are certain living things which are not conscious, do not have a conscience, do not have a soul, are not above a line of conscientiousness or consciousness that is considered as alive. Yeah, most of the animals are like that. They're not uh, living beings. They're not considered as living things, like as far as the consciousness is concerned. There are many animals that are, like the birds, the fish, the cow. They are conscious beings, like man. And the heaven and the earth are conscious beings. They're alive. They're living. They're living beings with their souls, however that works. I don't know. You can ask God when you meet him. And the angels are also living beings. They all have souls. So this concept of soul, which they have lost, is very important to understand which is a conscious living being. We are conscious living beings, men, and so are demons, and the angels are higher than conscious. They are angels, but they are also conscious, obviously, but they're a much higher level of consciousness, and they're called angels. Malak, which is also used, the word for king is malak as well, and the angel is also malak. So you have to figure out in the Quran where it's referring to the angels and where it's referring to just the kings on the earth, which are morons, most of them, yeah, except people like David and Solomon. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that one, man. Let's move on to the
All
next.
right.
This is all nonsense. Their abortion rights and all this is complete mm, BS. And they just want to live their lives the way they want to, having all their um, uh, fun without having the repercussions of their fun, which is out of line with how God has prescribed it in the Torah, in the Injil, and especially in the Quran. Yeah.
All right. The fourth one was usury and interest. What is actual money, and what is
Yeah. So
usury,
this
and what
is
is
we can talk about both of it together. Yeah, I guess
yeah.
the usury and interest. So usury and interest is charging someone money or added benefit when you loan him actual money. Yeah, when you give a currency to someone, and you say, okay, when you return it, you need to give me currency plus X. Yeah.
Hmm.
So whatever is the currency, doesn't matter. Maybe the dollar, the baht, or the rupee, or the ruble, or the euro, or any other currency. Whenever you give this currency, and then you bind the person who accepts it from you as a loan to return more than that, is called interest or usury. And it is absolutely, categorically, unequivocally forbidden. And that is the crux of the problem today, of what's going on in the earth. And they say that because of this, we have progressed. Because of this financing, capital markets and how do you say, venture capitalists and all these idiots, morons, scumbags, they use this to progress, to create progress on the earth in technological terms and in social terms. Yeah, you progress further into hell than you already are using this version of progress. And all this technology that has come about can be used to make our lives easier. But as man, in his infinite wisdom, will always use his wickedness to rule over everything. Yeah. The piousness will never be used to rule over his wickedness. The wickedness will be used to rule over his piousness, because the wickedness attracts the men more than the piousness. Because piousness is boring, man. What, I gotta say the truth all the time? Well, I gotta take care of the orphans and the divorced women and the people who are in need and the refugees and the poor people. I gotta feed them. What kind of nonsense is this? No, 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 no. I want to have my yachts, man. I want to have my submarines. I want to have my private jets. Yeah, I want to do whatever I want. I'm going to Mars. Yeah, this Elon Musk character, the guy is a complete moron. He's a satanic scumbag is what he is. An animal. He's a complete animal. Yeah, this guy, nothing more than an animal. And the others are like him, like Bill Gates, like Soros, like the JP Morgans, the all these guys, and the Queen, and all these leaders that are apparent in the earth are just scumbag animals, demons. A lot of them are just demons. Yeah, fundamentally demons who are deluding you into thinking they are men. They're not. They're demons acting like men, and they're ruling you, and have been doing it for eternity. So, and they're using this um, interest-based system, usurious, usury and interest and derivative-based system, to destroy your ability to live a sane, happy, calm, relaxed life, and then die and go back to your creator, what we have been sent here to do. So this is absolutely forbidden, and God has clearly told us that anyone who deals in usury is as if he is touched by the addressing of the Satan. So this is clearly written to us, and they will tell you, the satanic fear mongers, and telling you that you're going to be poor if you don't come into this system. Yeah, how many people are rich who have come into this system? Yeah, do you look around you? You find rich people, just the few that are your gods that you create like your gods, the wretched satanic scumbags, absolute animals. They will burn in hell forever. There's going to be no reprieve for them, and the reckoning is coming. It's on its way. Yeah, it will arrive. I don't have to be alive to see it. I don't have to be dead to see it. Because I might see it while I'm alive, or I might not see it because I'll be dead. But it's going to come to them. And the reckoning is on its way. They have passed and crossed all limits of this nonsense. And this is one of the biggest nonsensical things that they have created on the earth today. The most satanic system, their financial system, is the most satanic system on the earth. The banks and the central banks all need to be barely put to dust. They need to be shut down. Yeah. They are just bean counters. They are just bean counters. That all they are. All they know how to do is add and subtract, yeah, and then multiply numbers. And they make money off of that by making you fall for their scam system. They take your authority, yeah, and usurp it, and then make you fall into their trap and make you a debt slave, complete debt slave to their scam system. And everybody's uh, like attached to that
And happy about it.
and happy because they work to make their money, and then they buy this and that. No, why do you need to buy anything in the first place? Yeah, with their system, the earth belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to the elites. It doesn't belong because somebody has a paper owning it. That's nonsense. The earth is for all of men to live on it peacefully, and wherever
Mm.
there's nobody living, it belongs to no one fundamentally. Yeah,
Mm.
unless the guy controls it or has power over controlling it somehow. Yeah, and he says, no, this is my land. Fine, that might be your land, but there's so much land free, and you can look
Mm.
around. I mean, 80% of the earth is barren. Barren, not in the sense that it's not got foliage. Barren because there's no man living there, just animals living there. They have a better time than us, yeah, because we're stuffed in these damn cities, into little cages, fundamentally boxes. Yeah, they put us in boxes, and we're supposed to be happy there, yeah, and not complain about the nonsense they're feeding us day and night, including the information as well as the food. So this is all because of this scam system that is called the financial system. And they take your money and then they loan it back to you. That's the banking system in one sentence. If I can explain it, it's that. And there's many people who go into details of, fractional reserve. They take your money, and 99 of the $100 are loaned to some business who's making money off of you. Yeah, off of you. Your money goes into the bank, and they give it to a big corporation who then invests it into enhancing their operations and to bring you the things you need, which then you pay for, which was made by your money. Oh, I see. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's perfect. And they will loan it back to you as well. Don't worry.
Mm.
You put money in the bank, and then you can take a loan from the bank. Yeah. And you can pay 20% or 15% or 5% or whatever they charge you on it. Whose money is that? No, it's not yours. It's the other guy who loaned it to you. It's not your money. Your money is safe somewhere else. We've loaned it to
Mm.
someone else who is being charged interest for that. This is the other guy's money we're loaning to you. But do they get the interest? No, no, no. We keep the interest. Yeah. Because we are the ones, we are the keepers of your money. A bunch of nonsense. This system is so fundamentally flawed and absolutely satanic that it has to be brought down and decimated, destroyed completely. If they're supposed to be a bank ever, it's supposed to keep your money safe for you to use as you
Mm.
wish, not as they wish. Oh, but then they won't be able to make money. Exactly. It's a bean counter's job. If you want to be a banker, you should be counting people's money and making sure it's where it's supposed to be, not
Mm.
loaning it out and making hand over fist interest on it and making your bed in hell, which you all are. I mean, when you look at the people talking about thievery, yeah, look, the Quran says that the thief and the woman and the man thief cut both their hands as an example. Yeah, if we were supposed to cut anybody's hand for stealing, we all be walking with only one hand. Yeah, I mean, there's not a man who hasn't stolen something or the other in his life. Yeah, so that's nonsense. It's an example. The Quran says, cut the hand of the woman thief or the man thief as example. So if God was to make an example of all of us, I mean, there won't be a man on the earth left, right? If we were all to be made examples, we're a bunch of retards. We'll all been massacred immediately. All of us. So example is to show you don't do this. So you, if I ask you that when you steal a pen, so it's you're a thief. So I have to cut your hand. How does that sound to you?
Grab the leaders at the World Bank.
I mean, obviously, but I'm
Yeah.
asking you this: that if you steal a
Yeah.
pen and since it says you gotta cut the hand, some nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, if you apply that properly, if that edict, that judgment of God is to be applied, the highest bankers and the highest politicians would be short of a hand. All
Mm.
of them. All
Good.
of them, without flaw. Without flaw. And then
That
next in
was
line would be the lawyers. Yeah.
mhm.
After that would be the lawyers. Yeah. And then
Good.
the clergy, the pope, the rabbis, the imams, the monks, all these. Yeah. Now you get it. That's what
Now
the
I'll be
Quran is saying.
scared.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
I'll be scared to do anything. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you won't steal anyways. If you know this book and if you know what is right and wrong, you will not steal. But they're stealing through usury and interest, and they're enslaving you. They're enslaving you to a level which you cannot understand and you cannot get out of because they keep it out of your reach to get out of the system. And they do enough to keep you in working as retards, as dotards, as rodents, as animals, slaving to them to whatever they want you to do, which only pushes forward their agenda of what they want to go, and they call it progress.
Mm.
That's
So
fundamentally it.
that
So if you come to now, let's go to the next one, which is what is money. Yeah. So
yeah.
today, money is all your currencies, right?
Hmm.
If you think about it, right? All your dollars, your uh,
Fiat.
rupiahs, your rubles, your euros, your what? How many currencies? And now suddenly they've invented these cryptocurrencies as well. That's also your currencies today, yeah. And there are many other kinds of currencies, bonds, and they're all currency instruments, yeah. All of this is nonsense. All currencies are useless today, generally speaking. There might be one or two which is okay. No currency can exist if it isn't backed by something physical. And God has clearly written that the money is gold and silver. That's it. Repeated over in the Quran. Over gold is repeated 8 times in the Quran. So the word silver is repeated 6 times. And there are
Hmm.
two currencies mentioned in the Quran, which are called dinar and dirham in the
Hmm.
Quran. And dinar is the word for a gold coin, and dirham is the word for a silver coin. So that's your currency. It's defined in the Quran. I don't have to make it up. I don't make anything up. It's all written in the Quran. We don't have to make anything up. It's all written in the Quran. So there you go. Your currency is a gold coin or a silver coin. There's no other currency. Now, if you want to create these super duper cryptocurrencies or digital currencies that you want ease of exchange, create them to make it easy so you don't have to throw coins across the room to the other guy or across the earth to the other country. Yeah, you can create these currencies and use them as currency. Yeah, but they are not money unless they're backed 100% by gold or silver. You cannot call it money, it's currency. Yeah. So currency, if you create all these currencies, it cannot be money unless and until you back it fully by gold or silver, and it cannot be leveraged. It cannot be fractionally given here. No, one has to go to one, and it used to be like that, by the way, back in the early 1900s. Yeah, the dollar was backed by gold. It was as good as gold till 1933, when I believe it was Truman Who took it away from the US. And 1971, Nixon took it from the rest of the world. And from 1971, we've been progressing infinitely. Yeah? Look at all the technological progress since 1971 to now. It's all because we went off the gold standard, the barbaric relic, they call it. Yeah, the barbaric metal. Yeah, it is their Achilles heel. Gold is their Achilles heel of this system. And they manipulate it to keep it down and keep it out of the actual discourse where it matters, although it is in discourse. But they will keep it away and they'll bring in nonsensical satanic plants, absolutely insane people who are fallen for Satan, who have fallen for Satan, and they will bring you excuses that will seem like they're making sense, that gold is useless. Whereas in the end, when this whole thing comes to a collapsing, cascading end, you will see gold and silver is the only thing that will be standing as money, as it always has. They say, oh, for 5,000 years. No, forever. It hasn't been 5,000 years. It's from the beginning of this creation till the end of this creation. Gold and silver will be money. You can take that to the proverbial bank.
Wow. Again, I did say a lot of wows, but this deserved a wow because every that means every single house on mortgage and all of that is basically a BS.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can. I mean, first of all, if you are righteous by God, no one would be hungry or thirsty. No one would require any hindrance in getting clothes, and everyone would have a house to live in. And all the energy would be free,
Hmm.
all the water would be free, and food will be provided to everyone. After that, that's the socialist level, yeah.
Hmm.
That's God socialism right there, yeah. After that, now if you want to have big palaces, you want to have technology and luxury, then you got to work for it after that. But till
Hmm.
that point, no one should have to work for anything at
Hmm.
all, ever, ever on the, and there's no need, because the way they control you is to take that away from you, to take that right that God has given everyone and told everyone to give everyone food, water, clothing, housing, yeah, a home, where to live under a tree, in a tent, doesn't matter. Whatever is available today, we've got houses, yeah, buildings, apartments, houses, farms, whatever. Everyone should have a place to live, yeah, and they should be able to do whatever they want after that, which is within the limits of what God has put in place, which is literally everything. You can do almost anything. You can make
Hmm.
all these toys that you make, your ships, your planes, your trains, your rockets, your balloons, your submarines, and everything else. You can make whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the fundamental level where it needs to be absolutely unquestionable is food, water, clothing, and a place to live. Everyone needs that, and it cannot be taken away. That is a human right. If you want to have a human right, nobody should have to pay for any of that, ever, ever.
And that's exactly what they attacked during the fake pandemic, shut down people's food, water, and shelter. And before that, they made us run after food, water, and shelter, which is free from God. But we have to go and become a slave for them, get this fake money from them, and then go and buy food and
Yeah,
water.
exactly. Yeah, nonsense, total nonsense. The
So,
earth is absolutely abundant. There's absolutely no shortage on the earth of anything that we need ever. But there will be now, because God has had enough of these people. As he has before, he's done it before, he's going to do it again. And then they will cry and it'll be too late.
most of the people in this on this earth are indebted, not wealthy.
Yeah, I mean, that's like pretty obvious. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's how they control you. They have to make you indebted, right? I
Hmm.
mean, look around you. Oh, I can buy this house because I qualify for the mortgage. The word mortgage, which everybody, not everybody, a lot of people know, mortgage means a death pledge. it's a death pledge. And if you look at the mortgages, most people buy a mortgage for
30.
30 years. And they don't really get to be able to do it till they're 25. So add 30 to 25, that makes you 55. I mean, you're already done. I mean, after 40, it's all downhill, yeah. Whatever people tell you is a nonsense. After your 40 years, you just decline into the death. If you have to slave to this satanic system till you're 55, what's left to enjoy? I mean, what will be left to enjoy?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to get into when you were talking about the earth and all of that. I also wanted to let the viewers know that um, your background of oil and gas industry, but I didn't touch on it. So just to let people know that this guy knows what he's talking about, not just the book of God, but also about life, because he's been there and done that. So it's not that he's going to speak about all these things without any knowledge. But I didn't bring it up. But I just wanted to point it out here that you have a solid background with the book of God and also in professional life that we
Yeah, I
all
mean, I
can learn.
traveled all over the earth. I lived in South America. I lived in the US, in the UK. I lived in Saudi Arabia. I went to Egypt, Canada, the UK. I mean, I've lived in lots of countries, lots of cities. I've seen a lot, but that really didn't teach me anything.
Hmm.
That only gave me a view of what the world is, as I can see it, as much as I could see it. But this Quran has shown me what actually is going on.
Hmm.
Nothing
Hmm.
short of this Quran has shown me anything. All of that is just anecdotal evidence, yeah, that you see with your eyes. Until you open your heart and see through your heart, which is connecting to God, you will see nothing. You
Hmm.
will see nonsense. You will see all that you can see with your eyes and hear with your ears, and then
Hmm.
figure it out from your brain, which is lost because it doesn't have the right guidance, which comes from the heart, and the soul turn to God. And the only way to do that today is through the Quran. Absolutely. The Quran will guide you to the truth, but you have to accept who you are, a retard. In front of
I
the
am.
Quran, we are all retards. Yeah? Because we can't understand it, we call it a retard. And the one like me who brings it is the retard. We, on the other hand, who are standing outside in majority, we can't be wrong. Yeah, these are the ones that will say when they look at me and what I'm saying, and they will find their end pretty devastating, as the ones before them have in the past. It will be the same. They will be no different. It will be no different than the last time.
And like what you mentioned yesterday or sometime back, that people don't know that you're in the majority because they don't know the unseen, where God and His angels
Yeah,
are in
no,
majority.
when they talk about majority, that majority rules. Well, I told you this yesterday.
Yeah.
If you think majority rules, then you should follow me immediately, because I am from the majority. I am from the messengers of the God. We are in majority all the time. Just because you can't see the rest of us, you only see me, doesn't make you in majority. You're outnumbered all the time. There's no two ways to look at it. There's no doubt or any kind of division in understanding the fact that God is in majority, because He's got His forces at least outnumbering you 2 to 1 all the time, wherever you are, because with you are standing two angels, each one of you walking the earth, each demon, each man. There are two angels standing next to you, and you don't do jack without them letting you do it with the command of God. Of course, they're working with command of God. They're not gods. They're angels of God with immense powers and things that you cannot understand what they can do and how they can do it. And that's how these so-called miracles occur in front of you. In all your life you see them, but you don't pay attention to them. Imagine the number of times you've been saved from the abyss. Yeah, how did that
Mm.
happen? And you just walk away with thank you say thank something. Yeah, I say thank
Yeah.
God. And most
Yeah.
people say thank God when that happens, because it's
Yeah.
intrinsic in us, because we know that God exists. I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at yourself and you go even think a little, God exists, obviously. Yeah, but you want to cover it up because this life is too enticing. The hoax of this life is too enticing. And go and bring up that sign. One thing before we go, yeah, bring up
Mm.
that
Yeah.
sign. What is made beautiful to the man? In chapter 3, it's, I think, the first. It's in chapter 3. It's, I think, the eighth or ninth sign of chapter 3. I don't know exactly, but you can find it.
Okay.
So this is the reason why most of man is deluded and deceived by the life of the world, yeah, because we fall for our desires instead of fight our desires, yeah. It
Yeah.
beautified to the man, go keep going, it'll be beautified to the mankind. There it is,
Uh,
yeah. There it is.
Beautified to the
Yeah,
mankind.
okay.
Yeah.
So here, if you look at the sign, beautified to the mankind love of the desires from the women. Ain't that the
I was
truth?
I was reading this
Ain't
today, man.
ain't that the truth, huh? I mean, if that isn't the truth, then I'm a
Absolute.
monkey's uncle, and
I
I'm
was
not.
reading.
I'm telling you, yeah. And the sons, your children, you love. Your desire is made beautiful to children, and the treasured from the gold and the silver. There you go. God's written it, and you've been made to not appreciate gold and silver. But if you look inside, you love gold and silver. You do. You're just hiding from that fact and you're covering it up. Yeah, they want you to cover it up, but they can't. You still love gold and silver because everything is a gold standard or a silver. You got a gold
Mm,
medal. Oh, this is the gold standard of this or that or the other. Why? Because we know we love gold and silver. I mean, that's the way it
mm,
is. And the rides, the shaped. Why, you don't love your cars? You don't love
mm-hmm.
your cars and your planes and your trains? Yeah, and the animals. You don't love your animal, you love the dog, which is the worst animal to love. Yeah, and the animals to love are the cow, yeah, the goat, the things that actually sustain you. The dog doesn't sustain you. That's a wretched animal, yeah, if you ask me. And I know that sustenance of the life of the world and the God with him good the abode. So now that you know this is what you love, this is what you got to fight to understand what your desires are making you believe, the life of the world. This is what makes you love the life of the world because these things are made beautiful to you. And Satan capitalizes on that to make you love things more and more so you can never see the truth ever. And thus you lose. Thus you lose in the end. So you have to fight all of this. And then what does the messenger say? What do I say? The next time, scroll up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm told to say, or I inform you with better from that to you. Oh, there's something better than that? Really? Is something better than all of this? That's not possible, is it? To those who fear, with their Lord gardens flowing from beneath them the rivers, living perpetually in them, and spouses pure, and happiness from the God. And the God watches with the servants. So he's watching us all, man. There is no one who escapes the sight of God, and God cannot be overcome by any sight. So this is how I want to end. This is how the wickedness rules us because we love all this nonsense: land, animals, children, spouses, women, gold, treasure, all this nonsense. It's all nonsense. You know it's nonsense. You only need food and water and clothes. Not really need clothes, but you want to have clothes. You don't want to have people running around naked. Yeah, clothes and a place to live. That's all you need. And then let the earth sustain us. But no, we're going to make everything perfect here. Yeah. Anyways, that there is it.
It's amazing because I today in my reading stopped at this sign and
Hmm.
actually cried and exactly what you were saying is what I was telling my soul, that these are the things I'm clearly warned. And you're absolutely right. This is all our love, right, spread out in front of them. Like, I mean, how more clarity do we want? Desires of the women. Everybody wants a son. In fact, there are some cultures that kill their
No,
daughters
no,
if
this
their
son
daughters.
here means sons or daughters, by the
Okay, okay,
way. Yeah.
okay,
When
son.
when the
Children.
Quran says sons, it can mean sons and daughters or just sons. When the Quran says daughters, it only means daughters. That's the way it
Okay.
is. And the man has a rank over the woman, period. The women can go and cry to God why the man has a rank over them. They can go cry to God. Yeah. Just like you can go cry to God why the angel has a rank over you or the spirit. Yeah. Or I have a rank over all of
Mm.
you because I'm a messenger of God. You can go complain to God about that. Don't complain to me. I don't give a damn. I know the ranks of God. I know where I am in the ranks of God. I know where most of you are in the ranks of God when I talk to you. Yeah, when I've understood who you are, most of you are going to hell. There's no doubt in that. Yeah. So accept that. That's the reality. There's authority, and God gives authority to who he wishes. Period. It's not your choice. It's not your choice. It's not my choice either.
True. Did we? If I could bring it one last time, just to check that actually we covered
Yeah,
everything
we did. Cool.
by the
We
grace
went
of
through all
God.
of it, huh?
Yeah.
Good stuff. All
So
right. Well, I think we can move along to our next stream whenever it comes.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there's like billions watching for sure. Yeah. Billions. Billions are going to watch this. Wow. I don't expect anyone really to understand or watch this or be affected by it. But my job is only to deliver the message, not make anyone believe. I've already delivered the message. It's clear 90% of mankind or more has the ability to get the message in a click. Go through the intro and the extra when we finish, and you'll be able to go get the message for yourself. And thus, I am done. So I'm just making these nice uh, streams, live streams, which I like doing. It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, here it is, the website,
Yeah.
themajesticreading.com. You can go get you can listen to the reading, you can download the translation, you can do whatever you want. You can go and search on the web interface when you say going to read it. Just press the read on the
Yeah.
right.
By the way, you were talking about your blogs.
Yeah.
So the video blogs are also on the Majestic Reading site.
Yeah, I
Anyone
know.
can check it out.
Yeah.
And
And then
then
you
the
have
read.
read, you can go and read any chapter and do all sorts of searches and see what the Quran is actually saying. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it actually pops up right here. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's all
There's
there.
nothing like this. There's nothing like this site.
Yeah.
The
For the
on the
Quran, absolutely.
for the Quran.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like it. Absolutely. And nobody's going to give a rat's ass because they're all deluded. They're all fallen for the life of the world. And they've forgotten the hereafter. And they're covered up from the truth. And thus they will end up in a bad place called hell soon. Anyway, all right, man. We finish it.
All right.
Till the
So
next time.
until the next time, we will see everyone if wishes the God. Peace.
Peace.